So that's it?
I ask Jacob.
We're just supposed to sit here and wait to die?
Jacob slouches in our shared cell, clicking away on his PS3 controller. He doesn't look at me. His eyes are glued on the screen.
I mean, to be fair, buddy, what the hell were you doing on death row before the SCP Foundation drafted you?
He chuckles at me. I don't answer him. I just grind my teeth a little and look away.
I just don't get how you're okay just sitting here, playing some stupid game, when you know these are going to call us up to send us out to die.
Jacob just looks at me from the corner of his eye.
You were going to go to the chair, man. This way, if they send you out to face some kind of ghost or whatever, you have a chance of making it out alive. Besides, you get to hold a gun and shoot it.
Jacob looks back to the video game.
I don't know what you're complaining about.
I growl a little bit, then sigh.
Fine. Sit here and play your ancient console. I'll get out by myself.
Jacob laughs harder.
Good luck with that, bud.
He goes back to his game. I walk back over to the door. It's locked pretty good. Usually, the cells they put me in simply have a lock on the inside of the cell door, where the lock is. But this door has locks all the way down, thick, vault-like steel rods inside the doors. Then, there's a physical steel bar placed behind the door as well, as if the vault-like lock wouldn't be enough. I wonder if these were specifically made for the Class D people, or if any of those monsters the Foundation captures were ever put in these. Or both. I don't know what these things the Foundation deals with are. As I stare out the door, a guard walks past us all.
Lights out!
They bark from behind their obscuring mask.
Lights out for all Class D personnel!
They pass me, and I don't know if they even took the time to glance at me staring at them through the window of my cell as they go. But I suppose that's just as well if they don't notice me. It'll make my plan easier to execute if they don't. Our time comes, and Jacob and I's cell is whipped open, and several guards armed with guns come into our room. I count 4 of them.
Stand up, it's time. You must be prepared to face SCP-3.
We're taken out of the room, and they bark the briefing at us. Something about a motherboard, but I'm not paying attention. There has to be a way to get one of these guards alone. If only one of them was guarding me, then all of this would be so much easier. As we walk through, the lead guard is still walking and talking. I give us a few more steps. Then I drop to my knees with the loudest scream I can pull out on short notice. They all startle and stare down at me.
On your feet!
The leader of the guards barks at me.
Class D! Class D on your feet, I said!
I scream at the top of my lungs.
I can see it! It's come for me! God help me! Help! Help!
I writhe around on the floor, groaning, shaking my limbs like I'm going into a seizure.
It's come for me! It's an SCP! It's in my mind! Get it out! Get it out!
I see the guards gather around me. They look over me, guns pointed, but I keep up the charade. I keep coiling on the ground like a maggot, howling about the SCP in my mind. I'm sure one of these SCPs possesses someone from time to time. If they're ghosts, like it seems like they are, then at least one of them can probably get into a person's mind. If I can convince them that an SCP has escaped. They stand over me, and every gun they're holding is pointed at me. They keep shouting orders, but I ignore them. Eventually, I see the lead guard talking on a radio. Good. Yes. They speak to the other guards, and then 3 of them dip down. I can feel their hands on me, and I'm lifted off the ground. I keep it up. I thrash in their grip. I shudder. I whip my head back and forth. They carry me through the corridor, and just as I get far enough to look up at Jacob, I smirk at him. He rolls his eyes and shakes his head. I'm taken into the medical bay, and I'm still keeping up the act. They speak to each other for a moment. They look down at me again. Then, finally, 2 of them leave. Perfect. The guard taking care of me starts getting bored. I can tell by their body language. They lean back against the wall, and their head drops back. Their arms loosen and they holster their gun. That's right. I don't know how good the vision in those masks are, but I wait until the guard isn't looking at me at all. Then I strike. I leap up from the bed, grabbing the guard around the neck. They stiffen. One of their hands tries to grab my arm, and the other reaches for the gun. I sweep the hand reaching for the gun to the side, then grab his chin. I wrench his head as hard to the left as I can. A satisfying snap shudders up my arm. A roll of pleasure passes through me when I feel the guard completely slacken my arms. I've missed this. As quick as my hands can move, I strip the guard of his uniform and start putting it on myself. It doesn't fit me properly. It's a bit tight around the chest and biceps, but I squeeze it on. I get the torso and helmet on as quickly as possible, just in case someone walks in. Luckily, no one does, and I pull on the trousers fast. There's some space under the bed with a small bucket, presumably for puke, and I just move it away and shove the corpse under the bed. Time to run before they come back. In theory, my plan was simple. Deal with the guard, steal his uniform, get to the exit, use guard credentials to get myself to that sweet, sweet freedom. But when I get to the front door, the lock is a PIN code. Shit! I was relying on it being a key card or a tag or something. That changes everything. How am I supposed to get out? I'm guessing that the PIN code is something a guard would be taught in training, so asking directly for it would be suspicious. There needs to be a way to get the PIN code without tipping anyone off. Hanging around here is only going to look bad for me, so I stand up and start striding through at a good speed. The number one way to look suspicious is to look like you don't belong there, and meandering around looking purposeless is the best way to do that. So I take up a strong, confident-looking stride and make it look like I'm going somewhere. As I walk through, I see some things I'd never seen before. There are big glass cages with other poor Class D bastards inside, with people in white coats writing on clipboards. Eventually, I spotted a glass cage that drew my interest. SCP-005, the sign on the outside says. As I watch, I see a podium in the center of the glass cage. On that podium is a 1920s-style key, large and ornate. A Class D has been shoved into the cage, and she's clearly shitting herself. There are two guards standing at the door. I walk up to them confidently and say,
"Hey, I'm here to take over,"
I say. The pair look at each other.
"Where's your colleague?"
They ask.
"I don't know,"
I lied.
"They should be here."
They share a glance again.
"Is this SCP really dangerous? Do we need to wait for them to show up?"
I ask.
"If it's not, I might just hang about here and wait for them to show up whilst you both have your coffee break."
One guard shrugs first.
"Works for me,"
They say.
"They're just trying to find out what SCP-005 can do. It's never hurt anyone."
The other guard sighs and nods as well. They hand me the briefing, and I look through it. Once I go back to watching them, I can see the Class D holding the key. In the glass cage, a doorway appears with a small key lock. The Class D walks forwards with the key in hand and unlocks the door. It doesn't look like that big, chunky key should fit that lock, but it does. After the door is unlocked, the Class D closes the door and the doorway is pulled back down into the ground. The white coat looks down and makes a note.
"Pin and tumbler lock successfully opened,"
The white coat says. The cycle repeats with the second door. Again, the Class D unlocks the door just fine with the ill-fitting key.
"Rim latch successfully opened."
There's one more repeat of this cycle, except this time, a keypad with numbers pops up. Wait, no way, is this what I think it is? Except as I watch, the Class D lowers the key towards the keypad. The key sinks down into the keypad and turns. The keypad beeps twice, and the red light atop it turns green.
"Pin code lock successfully opened,"
The white coat says. No way, an SCP which opens all doors? Well, today must be my lucky day. I stand guard for the remainder of the testing period. He announces its end and types in the numbers into the keypad to let the Class D out. I manage to look over the white coat's shoulder to see him type in 2801. Got it. Soon, the Class D is ordered to leave the room again. The white coat is in a wall between both the testing area and where I stand, so he speaks through a buzzer at me.
"Where's the other one? Why are you single crewed?"
"Oh, I came to take over from the previous two guards. The other guard never showed up."
The white coat frowns harder.
Who was meant to be crewed with you?
No idea,
I answer.
I'm taking the Class D back to her cell now, yeah?
The white coat's lips curl for a second.
Yes.
They reply.
I'll go ahead and do that then.
I turn and walk towards the Class D.
Come on, let's go back to your cell.
I tell her cheerfully. She looks a little alarmed at my tone. I suppose no one sounded so happy through the obfuscating mask before. So I started walking her away to her cell. As we walk away, I see the lights behind us shut off. I look over my shoulder and see the white coat walking away. Then I look back to the Class D I'm escorting.
All right, get out of here. What?
She asks.
You're not going to take me back to my cell? Nope, just get out of here. I don't care what you do, but you better not say a fucking word, you hear?
She nods at me, then turns and walks away. I mean, she's probably a death row inmate just like I was, so she knows to skedaddle when the opportunity comes, I bet. I spin on my heel and sprint towards the SCP cage. I get to the keypad and type in the numbers 2801. I pray. Then it beeps twice and flashes green. Yes! The glass door slides open, and there's the Wonder Key sitting on its podium. I dart in and grab the skeleton key, pocketing it. I almost want to kiss it, like in the old cartoons, but I don't have the time. I literally have the key to freedom. I can't waste any time. I forget about being stealthy and start sprinting towards the exit. With the Class D running around, she'll be both a distraction for them and reveal that something's up. So I don't have any time to waste acting like nothing's wrong. As soon as I get to the keypad at the front, I pull out the SCP key. All right, don't fail me now. I lower it towards the keypad. It slides in. It clanks, as if ancient locks are being pushed open by the historic key. I try to turn it to the right. It doesn't move. But just as my heart's sinking, I turn it to the left, and with a ka-clunk, the keypad flashes green and beeps. The front door slides open. The sweet taste of fresh air hits me even through my mask. Yes, freedom! Fuck you, Jacob. Enjoy dying like everyone else in here. See you later, fuckers! I charge forwards, hitting the night with the scream of joy as I leave the facility. The chill night air slaps me in the face as I sprint through. It tastes amazing. I whip the old guard's mask off to breathe it in. The night sky is velvety blue, speckled with stars. I haven't seen the sky clearly for so long. A hurdle is presenting itself to me as I run. When I was taken to the SCP Foundation facility, I was transported in a prison van, the kind with no windows. I didn't have a chance to see the area around the facility, and now it looks like it's an endless amount of goddamn countryside. As I sprint directly out the front of the building, I can see that there are fenced areas all over the place. I don't know what those are for, but I'm not going in there. I keep running, so long and so far that my legs feel like overstretched elastic, and my mouth aches, tasting of iron. My chest is burning. I look over my shoulder. No one's chasing me so far. Ha! Idiots. They probably don't even know. I slow down and give myself the chance to heave with breathlessness. Once I have my breath back, I walk slowly. Sweat dribbles down my body. I'm approaching the fence with a large gate and a big lock on it. Several, in fact. One is built into the gate itself, but another is a thick chain held together by a chunky padlock. But I just laugh. As I get close, I bring out the SCP key. I start with the padlock. It works the same way as the keypad, where I feel the key clunk and chunk as it slides in, and then turns to the left to open it. After the padlock pops open, I unwind the chains from around the big gate and let them drop. Then, I use the same key on the big gate. Once the door is open, I just wander through. I seem to be in a parking lot full of different kinds of vehicles. Ooh, look at these babies. I wonder... I go over to the nearest car and put the skeleton key in the car lock. It unlocks it just fine, and the car alarm doesn't go off. Nice! I can take my pick. So, which one of these is the best car? They're all SCP Foundation vehicles, so I'm gonna have to repaint and change the plates of whichever one I take. So I look for one with a nice body. There are sleek, fast-looking cars here, but the one which catches my eye is a large Jeep-style truck. It seems to have a Jeep front, with huge wheels and a big cargo holder at the back. That monster looks like it drives up vertical walls and carries an apartment's worth of shit as it does it. What a beauty! Looks pretty new, too. It's good to find one like this. I'm fairly sure I'm going to be on the run for a while after this. If this beast can tear up the countryside like it looks like it can, it'll be a breeze losing those dumb cops. Having made my choice, I break into a light jog and go up to the Jeep-like car. The SCP key works as before, unlocking the Jeep like it's nothing. I look back at the facility. There's still no one coming out, running after me, or any alarms blaring. At first, I was smug about that, but now I'm starting to worry. I mean, this is a high-tech facility, right? Even if the technological doors didn't count my escape as a breakout, surely the staff would have noticed my absence by now, right? Surely some cameras caught my escape, and there were people watching those cameras? I'm starting to get suspicious. Am I really that expendable? I might be. I mean, it's not like any death row inmate is much more valuable than any other. Maybe they did just let me go? Whatever. I don't have time to think about this. I get into the Jeep and use the same skeleton key to start it. It purrs to life underneath me. I can't fight the smile spreading across my face. I start the car and drive away, and I can't resist a burnout before screeching off. I drive for hours. I had no idea when exactly I left the facility, but it had to have been late afternoon or early evening, judging by how quickly night descended on me. I keep driving all night, obeying the road laws for once, but no one follows me. I just can't really believe I might be home free. I even pass a few cop cars, and they just sit there. Pigs are probably chowing down on their donuts, and they don't even know that I drove past them. I can't wait to get back to my life now that I'm home free, but I'd better lay low for a bit. Now with my new Jeep, I don't need to hide in a city where someone might recognize me. I can go off-road. Once the golden sun begins to creep over the horizon in front of me, I'm beginning to drop off, so I decide to do just that. I creep myself into smaller and smaller roads, until eventually I move off an asphalt streak into a dirt road. It's basically just a strip of dirt filled with potholes at this point, but I go even further off-road. When I spot a field next to the dirt road, I turn off onto it. There's something small and green growing in the field, and it scrunches under me as the tires tear it up as I go into the field. Well, some farmer's gonna have a bad day when they find that. I smirk and drive across the field. I can see a small patch of trees at the end of the field. If I can get my Jeep in there, then that'd be the perfect hiding spot. It takes me no time at all to get close, and soon, the mini forest is lit up in front of me. I can see right off the bat, there's no way the car is getting in there. The trees are too close together, and as much as I joked, I'm not risking damage to the car by trying to bulldoze any of it down. Whatever, I'm too tired to worry about it. I'll figure it out tomorrow. I park up in front of the trees and then get out of the front. Then, I move around into the back of the truck. It's almost like an armored truck, but that suits me fine. I unlock the back with the SCP key and step in, hearing it lock behind me. When I look down, I see a thick lock back there. I bet that'd be a bitch to try and break into. I'm pretty sure I'm about as safe in the back of here as I would be literally anywhere, so I lay down in the back of the truck and try to get some sleep. A sharp judder forces me to wake up. I know immediately what's happening. Fuck! The Jeep's moving! I snap to standing in an instant. The back of the Jeep keeps trembling under my feet as I stumble around. For a moment, I just stare around the place, and I see a camera sticking out of the corner of the cargo hold I stand in. That wasn't there before. Those bastards! I knew it was weird that they hadn't immediately come out to start chasing me. They must have had a way to track the van from the start, but I still have my key. They're not keeping me in here. Then I look around. Wait, where's the lock? Where's the lock? There was one here. I knew there was a lock on the back of the door, but as I scour over it again, the entire thing doesn't even have a seam that splits the doors in half anymore, let alone having the lock it had before. The lock can't have disappeared, right? Oh, shit! They must have put me in a different truck. That's the only thing they could have done. A deep chill runs through me. They're taking me back. Back to the cells. Back to wait until they throw me in front of an SCP as a guinea pig. No! No! I was so fucking close! I pull a key out from my pocket and start stabbing where the door should be. Where it has to be. Come on! I snarl at the key. Open it! You can open anything! Let me out! I change my grip on the key and clench it in my fist. I hammer it down on the cargo door from overhead, like Norman Bates. Let me out! I screech at the SCP. Even if there's no lock, you can open it! You're fucking magic! Get me out of here! It doesn't. All I can do is stab the key in random areas of the cargo hold, hoping and praying that there's a lock in there I can open somehow. But then the truck stops. When I hear the Jeep stop, my entire body fills with adrenaline. There's not much to see and hear for a moment, but I can hear footsteps. I have nothing to wield, but I'll fight them tooth and nail to... Suddenly, the back end of the cargo hold slides down. The seam of the door is revealed, and the lock is right there. Wait, what the hell? They put in a false back? Before I can wonder anymore, there's a click, and the door is opened by a guard, with the real key that belongs to it. Suddenly, a crashing of a dozen pairs of boots echoes through the metallic cargo hold. There are so many guns pointed at me right now. Don't move! One voice, clearer than the others, screams at me. Down on the ground! All right! I shout back, getting down on my knees. Take it easy! Through the sea of guards, I see a white coat standing at the end of them. She's looking at the clipboard as she speaks to me. Well, Class D, she says, you've made quite a hassle for us. I'm sorry, I answer immediately. I won't do that again. No, you will not, she replies calmly. The multitude of guns inch closer to me. I'm facing a firing line. Wait! I shout. Don't you need Class D recruits? To test out the SCPs? Yes, the white coat answers. And you have serviced us well in that regard. Thanks to you, we know of the sentience of SCP-005. What? Suddenly, I feel the barrel of a gun press against my face. I drop my head to the ground. My hand is forced open, and the key is taken from my grip. SCP-005 has been able to open any lock, but we have been unable to determine any manner of intelligence from the SCP. Until now, the white coat says. The lock was still present in the cargo hold, and despite it being hidden to you, it should have been within SCP-005's capacity to unlock it. However, despite your attempts, it didn't, because you didn't know the lock was there. She makes another note on her clipboard. That implies some tentative intelligence to SCP-005. Thank you, Class D. That's very useful information to know. Finally, she looks up at me. Those eyes are stone. However, due to your behavior, you have been determined as a liability. Therefore, your services are no longer required. She nods at the guards surrounding me, and I feel so many arms grab a hold of me. I thrash and scream, spitting profanities, but I'm pulled to my feet and dragged out the truck. Before I know it, I'm thrown out of the back, the sunlight glaring into my eyes. I hit the ground hard and it's moist. As the aching passes over me in a wave, I give a groan. Behind me, the truck starts up again. I roll over in the dirt just to see all the guards getting inside the cargo hold. As soon as all of them are in there, it drives away. As soon as the truck has passed out of wherever it is they've taken me, I see the fence snap shut. It's one of the fences I saw surrounding the facility. It has a sign on its front, SCP-354, the anomalous pool of red liquid, east side, warning, extremely hostile. I hear a gurgling behind me. My heart sinks. I thought they were going to kill me by a firing line a moment ago, but that's not how the SCP Foundation deals with Class D people. The gurgling gets louder, and when I turn, I see it. A horrible, blood-red entity. It's a humanoid, but that's all I can say about it for sure. All I can see is a gaping maw, gurgling hungrily. I stare at it as it comes closer. I know it's the last thing I'll ever see. In appearance, SCP-005 resembles an ornate key, displaying the characteristics of a typical mass-produced key used in the 1920s. The key was discovered when a civilian used it to infiltrate a high-security facility. SCP-005 seems to have the unique ability to open any and all forms of lock, be they mechanical or digital, with relative ease. The origin of this ability has yet to be determined. Hey guys, thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast for more SCP stories like this one. You can also check out some more episodes from the SCP Experience podcast here. I'll see you in the next one.